this is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Callan and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to 2. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can see we're getting the line. Dodd's just absolutely thinking, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome in to the Warren Brown Tours V8 Supercars Championship here for round 2 of season 3 of 2024. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, joined as always by Steve Sinkovic. Sinker, Monza, fast-paced chaos ahead. Tuesday night we had all the chaos on lap 1, and then everything's kind of started to peter out and get into their own little rhythms. With the faster boys out on track here tonight, it could be chaos all throughout.
It's such a long time ago that I can't remember how the race went. I'm sure as we get to the starting grid and we start getting into the action part of the night, my brain will kick in and we'll go, oh yeah, that's what happened here and that's what happened here. But it's been a hell of a couple of days, so I'm fried. Let me tell you that right now.
Well, you know, I'm feeling a bit fried myself as well, so hopefully some great racing action will waken us up a little bit here tonight. Will get us all excited for the racing week ahead. And I want to ask you firsthand, what were your thoughts on the old Friday night double bubble? That was some epic racing from both the Legends and the GTs on Friday night. And, I mean, what a way to end out a work week than by being able to call some fantastic action for a new series and for an old favourite as well.
I'll give you a rundown of what I saw. I saw Tyson getting taken out, and I laughed that much that I put the pause button on by accident and lost my shit. And had to go do some stuff, and I came back for the GT3s, GTDs, or GT3s, whatever you prefer to call them out there. And that was sensational. I think it was like something like 38 cars or something like that you had, or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty
massive grid. It looked fantastic. The guys were having a blast out there. Some really good driving. I'm not so favourable driving.
We'll say questionable. We'll continue,
questionable's the word again. Yeah,
we'll continue being nice about it.
Yeah, I wasn't on the night, but again, loved all the rest of it. It was sensational to watch. I can't wait till they get onto a track which is a little bit more condensed, not as open as like this track and Spa is, where you can sort of, this field spreads out a lot. It's going to be epic to see these guys fight each other.
Yeah, I think Nürburgring this coming Friday is going to be quite condensed for round 2.
GP layout?
GP layout, not the Nordschleife.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
The key word is Nordschleife is really only good for endurance racing because it is so big and everyone does spread out. GP is good for those little, you know, sprint to super sprint to regular round of 20, 20, 20, 20, 40 or 60-minute races. That's where it is best set for that layout. But Monza tonight, fast-paced action, normal round on offer for us here, Sinker. It's going to be an hour worth of racing for us. All the drivers are going to have their whole 15 minutes to get quali times in, and the times are going to be quick and fast. They're going to be probably within the 46s at the top end of town. We may even see a low 45, you know, upwards of maybe a 45.9 from some of those drivers. But it's going to be tight. And the way the race ended last week at Daytona, if the races go like that this whole season, it is going to be pure chaos. And it is going to be absolutely extraordinary to see how these drivers are going to tackle all the tracks ahead of them. Jackal's already in the chat saying it's going to be a classic, quoting the old Shannon's ad we have on there, saying nothing better to finish the week than SRW Supercars, the dynamic duo of Titanic and the Iceberg. So I guess is it because I'm as cold as ice that I'm the Iceberg? I don't know.
No, it's only because we can see the tip of your talent, mate.
Mate, that's it. Yeah, there's more lying underneath the surface, but drivers going to get out there now.
You're a man of, you're the human onion, man of many layers.
But we're going to get into qualifying now. We're going to be able to see how these drivers are going to tackle this Monza circuit here for Autodromo Nazionale Monza. And I mean, it's been a great week at this track across multiple supercar series, and we get to round it out tonight with SRW. And, I mean, there's one thing that has been consistent with the races that have happened around here, Sinker. It has been chaos, and I love it. I'm here for it, and I cannot wait to see how the fast boys are going to go out of here tonight. I mean, John Gallen, he's fresh off a win on Thursday night at this track. We'll see if he can put the pieces together, possibly get himself a podium or even another win. But he's really been impressing me lately, Sinker, across all facets that I've been seeing him driving. He could be a real dark horse to possibly take the top 3 in the championship this season.
He's been really good. He's definitely a player, a driver on the rise. 100% on the rise. He's really improving. Like we saw him improve on Tuesday nights, and then now he's thrown his hat in on the Sundays as well. So nothing seems to be stifling him at all. He's just taking each step as it comes and just getting better and better and better. So it's good to see someone taking the racing in their strides and not worried about the challenge of getting up some of these really fast pro guys either.
Yeah, he's bringing the fight to just about anyone that he's been racing recently in the supercar. It'll be interesting to see how a couple of other drivers go tonight, namely David Coleman. He's had a bit of up and down luck across the last couple of seasons. Dylan Gray as well. And Connor Nixon, he unfortunately didn't make the end of the race last time at Daytona. Hopefully he'll take the flag this week. As well as the returning M1 drivers of Darren Crosby and Stephen Kennedy into the field here tonight alongside their new teammate in Travis Daly. So it'll be interesting to see how that team dynamic works around this track, as well as the returning Troy Dooley for performance sim racing. So he'll be able to back up Andrew Cowan out on track here tonight as well as our old favourites like Jamie Black, Darren Bob, Bruce Tannick and others as well. And I mean, even Rehan as well. I mean, Tannick, he got himself a little bit of controversy last week with a couple of his incidents down towards Turn 3 at Daytona. And we're kind of hoping, Sinker, that he can, just push on forward, get a good result here tonight, and look ahead to the end of this championship where we would hope he could be a genuine contender for the title.
Well, you mentioned that, and we actually had a ticket on that incident as well, and it was funny. There was one comment on the thing that took out so and so, and in the end, when we reviewed the ticket, when it got down to the nitty-gritties of it, it was actually a netcode incident. And you can see the two cars magnetised together, and the opposing vehicle puts the foot down and tries to get away with it, but then he had impact from the rear again. There's a third incident involved within one incident. So it actually wasn't Tannick's fault in the end. So it just goes to show when you're seeing something on live TV without the ability to go back and tear it apart like we do, the boys that were involved in the incident will see the videos that we do, and we go through each section of the incident and each camera angle, and it was quite clear when you look at it like that. But on TV, even me and you thought, whoa,
Yeah, it looked a little bit, like it was against Tannick from the angles that we thought of that. And it's one thing that we always point out as well is, race control, they've got many an angle that they can, they can pick it apart as much as they want. And if a ticket is raised, they pick it apart even more. They get, admins in to have a look at it, as a panel to really decide what's actually happening, what's going on, what's led to this happening, how can we go from here, and how can we approach any penalties that may get applied to them. First lap's coming in now though. Anthony Visma's gone fastest across his first lap with a 147.639. He's found most amount of pace out of his Accelerate Sim Racing Holden Commodore. We'll see Will Buchanan, he's up into the top 5 as well. These times are going to come down though throughout the session, Sinker. They're going to get faster and faster, and some of the big boys are going to come to play here tonight. But Connor Nixon for Drop Bear Motorsports gone P2 with a 147.83, so he is showing he has not dropped any pace out of this car, and could be a bit of a, you mentioned dark horses, he'd be one to keep an eye on tonight is Connor Nixon.
If he doesn't spin the dummy and leave the session.
Oh, stuff happens. Rehan Leonard.
We're gonna have to go in there and ask which Connor is on the track tonight, mate.
Rehan Leonard though is leading the way for the Phoenix sim racing crew out there. He's got all of them lined up in behind him, so he's currently dragging them around in the tow at this track. And this is one of the big things about this track, similarly to last week, probably more effective here, is the tow. It's really, really hard to break away from your competitors out there, as Leonard has gone P4 on the road. Dylan Gray's gone faster than with 147.83. That's one thing tonight, is we may not actually see the field spread too much in terms of cars being on their own as a singular. we'll likely see the battle packs start to spread out a little bit, where we have cars of 3, 4, maybe even up to 5 in their little packs. As you know, it's hard to break the toe here. It's hard to break away from your competitors. You kind of have to rely on them to start battling in behind you to give you a reprieve, to allow you to get up to above 1.5 seconds. And then you've got to drive consistently after that to keep that gap of 1.5 seconds or above, so you are out of the tow range in behind.
You probably find we'll have about. Well, there's a big lineup here tonight, and there's drivers coming back from their breaks and wherever they are. So it's great to see. I'm still getting drivers out there saying, "Steve, am I too late?" No, mate. The doors are still open and that. But yeah, the tow is going to be very big here tonight. A perfect opportunity to have a Clisterman commercial, but we don't do Clisterman. We don't have a sponsor for them. But the tow is going to be epic. It's going to create a lot of. I mean, we saw some of the action on Tuesday night. The 2x2s in some of these corners was absolutely crazy. So it's going to happen here tonight again. There's the fact, not only just the tow, but also the little bit of side draft, and also when you get the two guys trying to overtake, the third guy behind getting that double tow and be able to sort of like jump in underneath each other. Teams are going to be really important tonight too. We saw it on Tuesday night where team drivers got underneath each other and then opened up the gap for their partner to get into, and then all of a sudden them two just drive off and the third guy just gets left in the dust. So some of that would come to play tonight as well, which is it's an aspect of the racing that I love to see.
One thing I think that we'll actually see tonight, and I saw it on Thursday, is actually bump drafting in that field. We didn't really see it too much at Daytona, but it is incredibly effective, and I think teams like Phoenix are probably going to use that to their advantage. They're going to use the fact that they have got 4 cars. If they can get all 4 of them together, do not be surprised if we see a whole train of them bumper to bumper down the straights to try and push themselves ahead of their competitors and try and gain some advantage over their competitors, to be able to also fuel save as well, to do the pit stops, but also to maximise on the pace they can get with that tow.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be. Look, I'm having flashbacks to last Sunday. For those people who haven't watched last Sunday's race yet, go back there and watch it after this or during the week, because those last 5 or 6 laps, where maybe even more now that you think about it, where we've focused on the top 4 drivers. That was some of the closest racing we've seen for a long while, and that bump draft was active left, right and centre. And that's not going to be too far off what we see here tonight.
Yeah, we've got obviously a fast-paced first couple of rounds, so expect tonight's race to be slightly similar to last week's. We then look ahead to Imola next week as well. Still somewhat fast-paced, but a lot more passing opportunities under brakes, I think, next week, Sinko. So I'm very interested to see what different race aspects we're actually going to be meeting across the next couple of rounds, not just tonight, but also next week at Imola and then the week after as well. And how this is all going to play out and formalise for us in terms of how the championship is getting structured, as a heap of cars are just cutting some grass at turn 1 right now as they try and find their footing here to get back into a rhythm and back onto the lap with 6 minutes to go in this session. As it currently stands, Anthony Visma's gone fastest with a 1:47.47. Surprised we haven't actually met the 46s just yet here in qualifying. Connor Dixon's gone P2 with a 1:47.83. He's then got Dylan Gray 5 1,000ths of a second off his lap time in P3. It's Rehan Lina and Will Brown making up the top 5 at the moment.
It was looking like we've got some competitors out there. It doesn't look like, I mean, he's an epic driver, but Mr. Leonage isn't going to have it his own way with the drivers that have come back to the series. Like, the names that I'm seeing on this list are bring them fast. And we've even had some past champions from the Tuesday night series that's come back this week. Mr. Crosby, Mr. Kennedy's coming back as well. Yeah, he is. He's there as well too. So there's pace galore out there. It really is going to be. I'm predicting that we're going to share the winning title, not the winning title, the top step. They're going to be shared around this season. It's not going to be just a dominant force, because there's going to be people who have different strengths and different type of tracks. But the names that are out there are going to make it very entertaining.
Well, we are guaranteed a different winner here tonight compared to round 1, as Scott Gamble is not in the field at the moment here for Monza. So we'll hopefully, it'll be interesting to see who's going to get it, whether it's going to be Lobby, whether it's going to be Rehan, or maybe even somebody else like an Anthony Visma. or Connor Nixon or even a Dylan Gray. I mean, how can we even see this playing out, Singer? It's like, it's not even we can even script it out of how it could happen. We know this track can bring chaos. We know how close it was last week. It's almost just watch along and hold your breath and wait to see what happens.
It is. It's 100% that. It's like, and don't forget the old faithfuls like your dairy milk commercial with Dikey. Then you've got the rest of the fishy boys as well that aren't slouches as well. Coleman surprise us and get some form back. And then you can the gents who's been away, the gentleman driver, Mr. Blake Delaney Senior. He's 2 weeks in a row back on the rig, so we'll see when he gets back into some form and where he's going to come out. We know that he's capable of winning some races as well.
Well, even young Ty Delaney as well. We know he's got some pace about him. Interested to see how the battle between him and Dodsey goes.
I would love to see Ty Delaney step it up this season with the calibre of drivers that are around on this track. It is a perfect stepping stone for drivers in and around that sort of ability to really, really step it up and get that regular practice and racing against some really, really fast guys out there. So I think this league's become a place where if you want to show that you're a good driver, you can come down here and really stick it up there and have a really good crack at it.
Not just that as well, it's looking like tonight's race, I think more so than any other on the calendar, this race could throw up a surprise winner more than anything. Like, it could be we get a winner tonight that we haven't seen win a race in a fair while, or we've never seen win a race overall. It might not be as cookie cutter as we think of, a Rehan or a Lob or a Vismar taking a race win. It could be, maybe a Tim Mulford gets a win, maybe a Will Brown, maybe even Connor Nixon gets a win here tonight. I don't think it is going to be as predictable as we've somewhat made it out to be. I think if there's ever going to be a chance for that surprise winner, it's going to be tonight, Sinker, because anything can happen around this place. The tow's going to be massive. If you can keep it in check, keep yourself out of trouble, that's going to pay you dividends. But I think there's actually a lot of possibilities for big gains to be made from a lot of drivers, and a big confidence boost for a lot of drivers as well, if they can get a positive result out of this race.
100%. And there's a name that just popped up straight away there, Mr. Visma. He could be another one contending tonight. But then again, what we've got to remember as well, consistency through the season is going to be key as well. So you need to be a driver that's finishing up the top 5 regularly to take the title. You're on screen right now. Mr. Dyke is going to be very consistent. He's been consistent so far. It could be a season where he takes it again, but I just don't know. But that's the good thing about it. Come on a Sunday night and find out. The story just gets better and better every week, and the fighting gets better and better every week. So, yeah, if you miss it, you're a chump. Simple as that. You got Mr. Sam Kutakazinos from Sam Kutakazinos Racing, which he hasn't changed his title yet. He's actually part of the Velocity Sim Lab boys. And he's got ciao. Oh, he's actually written it. Bestate da Monza. Buono divertimo in tutti. So that was my best impression of Italian. And I've grown up with a lot of them as well. Have fun, everyone, he says. But I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get goosebumps, mate, because it's quality's just about finished, and we've got some spectacular times up there. But the times on the bottom of the screen aren't really showing anyone standing out.
No, they're not really. They're kind of all just. It's hard for them to find some clear-cut pace at the moment, it seems, out on this track. So let's check out the track temps. We're at 38 degrees, so we're at a pretty hot track. And it is teetering on the level of getting into dangerous track temp territory. One thing we also have to think about tonight is looking after those tyres. This track is a tyre killer, even at the coldest of temps. With a hot track and intense battles, could we see some mistakes made by some drivers who may push the tyres a bit too hard for a bit too long?
This corner right here, we saw it on Tuesday night a few times.
It's going to be chaos.
Yep.
It's going to be chaos.
That's that corner right there. We've had a few guys spin out and go wide, and like people that are actually leading as well. Don't forget, what was it, lap 18 I think we had where the pits started coming in. These boys I'm expecting around lap 19 and 20. So they probably go that little bit longer and have fresher tyres, lighter fuel, and a sprint to the end, like the last 25 minutes, 20 minutes.
Well, this is going to be Jamie Dyke's final attempt at setting a lap in this qualifying session, as we have got the checkered flag flying on this session now. So if they've started their laps before the 15 minutes were up, they can finish them. Dykey, though, he's got a great toe right now off Connor Nixon. He set a personal best in the first sector. He's gone orange in the second, so it may not be something that lights up the world at the moment. Nixon, he's currently on 2 oranges as well as they come into the third sector. Dykey still hasn't gone better in towards Ascari here as they come up towards the Parabolica at the end of the lap. Is Dykey going to improve on this lap? I don't know, Sinker. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for P5 or above. One interesting thing, though, is Rehan Leonage has not gotten pole this week. He's off the track, and currently he's seated P6 in the standings.
Yeah, and also Travis Daly's got a pit lane start for impeding car 216, I think the call was. Let me just check it that I haven't put it on the dash. Here we go, it's
There
on
it
screen.
is.
Thank you. The boys have got the system running, loving it.
So that would be for impeding Peter Pavlovic in qualifying. Dykey has crossed the line. He's going to stay P7. Here comes Bruce Tannock crossing the line, and his final opportunity to set a lap time in this session. He's not going to go any better than P11. David Coleman, though, is going to go up to P12 on this lap. Mark Houghton's coming around Ascari now. Shane Randall is going to back out of his lap right at the end of it. Gallen hasn't gone any better. He is starting from P27 on the road, Singer. He is the slowest car in this qualifying session at the moment. As Mark Houghton comes up, and he's pulled out of it as well.
Darren Lobb hasn't set a time.
He hasn't set a time, but I'm saying who have set times is what I mean. that is what I'm specifically saying. Out of drivers who have not set times.
I've just had a thought, Hamish.
Yeah, mate.
And I've just got goosebumps from thinking that about it. And I'm looking at these names, and we just finished a qualifying section. Can you imagine what it's going to be like doing a top 10 shootout with this grid? It is going to be absolutely off its rocker.
Yeah, it's going to be intense, and I think it's going to be so intense that's when we're actually going to have to look at doing qualifying the day before, because I don't know if my heart's going to be able to handle an intense top 10 shootout and then an enduro straight after.
It's going to be epic, mate. It's going to be epic, and we're going to have to get the Red Bulls out everywhere. Well, the boys are already gridding up, mate. How quick's that?
They are, and this is the starting grid for tonight's race. Anthony Visma will start pole position for Accelerate Sim Racing ahead of Will Brown of Phoenix Racing Team out of P2. With Connor Nixon of Drop Bear Motorsport in P3 on the road alongside Dylan Grave, DK Motorsport to make up the second row of the grid. Tim Mulford, Rehan Leonage, they make an all-Phoenix third row ahead of Jamie Dyke and Ty Delaney for an all-Fishy fourth row on the grid. Blake Delaney and Harry Dodson then make up the top 10 ahead of Bruce Tannock and David Coleman in P11 and P12 here tonight. We then move back to Brad Doble, Blake Fitzpatrick, Stephen Kennedy, Steve Vella making up the top 16 cars. Will Buchanan and Mark Houghton then make up the top 18 with Peter Pavlovic and Sam Noble making up the top 20. On the 11th row of the grid, we have Travis Daly, Andrew Cowan ahead of Stacey Boyd and Shane Randall. We then move back to Troy Dooley, Darren Crosby, John Gallen, and Darren Lobb at the back of the field. But importantly, the 777 of Travis Daly, he has a pit lane start for impeding during qualifying. So the pole sitter for tonight's race is this man here in Anthony Visma. And what an exceptional qualifying it was from him. And what a lap it was from him as well to put that car on pole. And he is looking like a sneaky force here tonight, Sinker. And if he can put performances like that throughout the season, he's going to be in contention for a championship win.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I want to see this camera angle at the end of the race. We've got Kudagazeta saying, "G'day, boys. Good work, Steve." Marty Hughes, go the Pelicans. Laz Leonage, hey, fellas. And Dougie Gowers, evening all. Tough gig, these V8s. They definitely are, and it's going to be a tough gig on Hamish for the next few seconds when he's got to yell his tonsils out, try to hold his breath, get that diaphragm working, and hold it all in while they all take off. It's going to be absolutely spectacular.
Mate, I had a good diaphragm workout last night when I got drunk and decided to do karaoke with my mate in my front lounge room. So we're all worked out.
Community announcement: we do not endorse binge drinking or any form of alcohol abuse. Please, if you do have a habit of getting extra drunk, please reach out to a friend or someone who's a professional.
I am very I'm trying to think. I'm very cautious when I drink. I don't do it too often. Not inebriated. We're
waiting for Connor Nixon still.
We are,
right?
and obviously Trav Daly's in the pit lane. We're waiting on Darren Lobb. So whether he's starting from the lane as well, I don't know. But yeah,
he might have dropped out. I don't think he has dropped out, but his name does have a line through it on iRacing, so
that
maybe
he's
he's
not in the session. Oh no, he's on the grid. He's on the grid, and he's at the back of the grid.
There he is. Excellent. There he is.
Nixon is also on the grid as well. 10 seconds until the lights go up and we go racing for round 2 of season 3 of 2024. This is going to be an intense start, Sinker. Visma and Brown on the front row. Hopefully none of these drivers bog or stall their car on the line, as it was pure chaos on Tuesday night when it happened. 5 lights are going to go up.
On in the bottom.
Very good, mate. We'll get that up very, very soon. Lights are out, though. We are racing at Monza. Everyone has gotten away off the start as we come down towards turn 1 for the very first time, and Anthony Visma has already dropped off the start in behind Will Brown down towards turn number 1. They all spread out as they come through the first corner now for the very first time. Then Visma's been turned round by Brown. Visma's been turned round.
4 wide.
It's pure chaos at turn 1. Pure chaos at turn 1.
Oh, another one rotated.
As Brown has now started to run away with things. Leonard is already up to the front of the field. Dylan Gray's got to slow down and having to give it out. He's already dropped back to P7 on the road as Brown comes down towards 4 and 5 for the first time, and Leonard in behind him. There's a great run out of that corner there from Rehan. Ty Delaney is already up into P3 on the road. He's got Mulford and Dyken behind him, as well as Tannick, Gray, Nixon, Dodds and Coleman. That's the top 10 after only 6 corners on this track as they come through the Lesmo curves.
Mate, as they're coming through Lesmo curves, I've got goosebumps all over both my arms. As hairs are standing on edge and watching these boys come through. That was like 5 to 6 of them wide at one point. Tannick is up 6 places. Same as Chunk Tai up 5 places. This is unbelievable. Darren Crosby from the back is making it through. Same as Darren Lobb up 6 already as well.
As Brown leads them through Ascari for the first time tonight up towards the Parabolica. Oh, but it's been a poor run from Tannick through Ascari. He's put it into the wall in the background. That's going to be big damage for the DPR machine, as he just has to try and hope he can rejoin on the track nice and clean and canny. Tucks in behind Stephen Kennedy. But right now it's Will Brown leading the way to Rehan Leonard still. He is struggling right now, is Tannick.
That car is toast. That car is toast. He's having a big load of trouble trying to keep it on track. I'm not sure if is he trying to get it back to pit or whether he's actually towed himself already.
Had to, sure. Let's get a double view up now. We can check out how some of these other battles are occurring. Brad Double's put the pressure on David Coleman in the bottom screen as they come through turn 1 once again. Rehan Leonard is all over his teammate Will Brown. These guys are going to be working together for the majority of the running. You'd have to think, Sinker. You'd have to think.
On wide. Who's that, Coleman?
Yeah, that was Coleman in the background. Unfortunately, he's run it wide.
Oh, he's called that in, actually.
Oh, so we'll see if they have anything to say about that. Just going to check out what's happened here to David Coleman. Down into... Oh, no, we didn't want that. We want full speed, thank you. We had Mark Houghton on his outside. Oh, it's been a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, just gave a bit of an extra nudge there, yeah. Bit of an extra nudge. Was the Visma spin at the beginning, was that self-inflicted?
I will have a look at it once again.
But while Hamish is looking at that, Will Brown has already set the fastest lap. His last lap was a 1:53.456. Absolutely blistering it out there. The boys are all very close all the times. We're talking 3:10s, 4:10s, 4:3s, 32. The grid all the way down from Harry Doble to Harry Dodds to Brad Doble. Doble has got a gap of 2.3 behind Harry Dodds. So what you're seeing in the bottom screen is our second battle pack.
So he's actually had contact with Brown, and that's what's turned him around. Yeah, and
look at that 3 wide and the Pelicans behind. Oh, then someone 2, 3, 4 run into each other. I'll tell you what, that could have been a lot worse. The boys did really well to get through there.
Yeah, it could have been the only real other one that was hurt out of it.
Oh, Visma's re-entry wasn't that special either.
Well, the only other driver to have been hurt in that moment was Harry Dodds, who was spun round and put off the track. No further action for the contact on lap 1 between Anthony Visma and Will Brown. So racing.
When they say that, generally is equal play. One's moved across, the other one's moved across, contact's made. It happens, and that is racing. I actually watched the F1 and that incident between Hamilton and Verstappen was called a racing incident, believe it or not. And when they went through it and slowed down, they actually showed it. Well, it actually was a racing incident, yeah. Hamilton had the ability to avoid the incident, and he didn't. So he was equally to blame.
Rehan Leonard now, as he comes through the Lesmo curves, has taken the lead from his teammate Will Brown. Ty Delaney's also made it past Will as well. He currently sits P2 on the road behind Rehan. This is the future of Aussie sim racing leading this race right now, Sinker. Rehan Leonage and Ty Delaney, the two young fellas in the field. And we may be, you know, calling the action for these boys for quite a long time coming. As, you know, these boys are already so quick. I mean, they haven't even had their 18th birthday. They don't even have their car license. And they're racing like this. It's absolutely brilliant.
Bottom screen if you've got it. Darren Lobb and Peter Pab. Darren Lobb has gone around the outside through the final chicane, and he's get some contact with Peter Pab. It's brought Lobby around. Lobby has managed to maintain the car and still keep going. I don't know how he does it. I've seen him do that so many times.
Yep, unfortunately, I had clicked off the bottom screen for a moment to give you a chance to change over. We'll get the replay up of how this has happened. How has this happened between them? So they've come up towards Ascari.
You can see Lobby just on the back there. Yeah, he's on the inside run. He's got the corner. He's going to move back across the inside apex.
Big net code between them.
Yeah. But watch this. He's actually, watch this.
Oh,
Pav has actually rotated him back. We've got the Ford across the back there, rotated him back, straightened him up, and Lobby goes along like nothing's happened.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, let's just keep on going, shall we? Like,
and look at him in the bottom screen. He is leading the pack down the straight. That is unbelievable. If that was me, I would have been there. Code brown in the fence.
Dougie's complaining because I'm making everyone else feel old because of how young they are. It makes me feel old, Dougie. Don't worry, I'm 10 years older than both of them.
You're not old. You're just a vintage, mate. You're a vintage.
That's it. It's
that
like
gets
a
better with age.
like a Pinot Noir, you know, or a
They
nice
still come
bottle of
casks?
Scotch. I don't know. I don't drink cask wine.
So we've got the grid up the front. We've got Rian with Ty Delaney chasing him down 1.2 seconds. Will Brown has got a 1.10 off him. Then the rest of the grid is pretty much orange and yellow with Mulford, Nixon, Jamie Dyke, Dylan Gray, Blake Delaney, Harry Dodds, Brad Doble.
Sorry, I'm just calling out what's happened on your screen, Sinker, between Stacey Boyd and it looked like John Gallen. No, that's Peter Pavlovic, sorry. That's Pavlovic, not Gallen. What has happened between them?
That's Pav in 2 incidents in 2 laps.
That is insane. How is that occurred between them? Let's have a
Well, 350 has just caught that ticket in. John Gallen's just caught that ticket in, or a ticket in. Oh, what happened?
He's held his brakes. I'll try and get a better view of it.
He's managed to miss everyone.
He did. I don't know how he's done that.
Yeah.
It amazes me how he's done that. So, on board with Boyd. So he had a bit of a speed wiggle. It looks like Pav's trying to sneak his way up the around the outside.
Yeah, I think Pav's unsettled him across the outside.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Pav or Gallen? I'm not sure who that was. At Pav, was it?
It was Pavlovic, yeah, Pavlovic. So obviously John has called it in for him.
Drive-through penalty for car 5066, Mr. Crosby. Just as you mentioned him, for an incident that happened a little bit back, so he must have got tangled up with someone in there. He's not going to be happy first week back, and he's got himself a drive-through already.
Not what you want.
Lobby is up all places.
What has happened with Coleman? I'm just going back on this replay to see what's happened with Coleman here. It looks like he's trying to regress with someone.
Trying to go to the pits.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gone too far.
I changed cameras. Why has it done that? Oh, it's fine. Oh, I know why. I know why it's done that. Because the Formula 1 camera has an onboard. So we'll do this way. This will show us the better angle at the moment of how this. So it looks like he's just absolutely sent Will Buchanan into space, Sinker, and that car's parked up.
Oh, and he's sitting there waiting.
Yeah, so they're both waiting. Obviously, Buchanan's trying to get the car turned around. He's been into the pit lane off the back of that. Oh, it is. It's been quite chaotic to begin with here.
It's been excellent, mate. It's been absolutely excellent.
As Crosby comes in to deal with his drive-through penalty. Biggest mover of the race so far, though, is Darren Lobb. So minus the
13
Ascari
places.
drift moment he had with Peter Pavlovic. He's up 13 spots, an exceptional run so far. Big Susan, unfortunately, Bruce Tannick, he was down 17 positions at the back of the field. Visman is in behind Lob, he's down 15 after starting on pole position, so not the start he would have wanted. We are only 10 minutes into this race, though, Sinker, so there's still a lot of time for him to get it back, as Will Brown has copped himself a slowdown and had to give up quite a few positions there to Jamie Dyke and Dylan Gray ahead of him.
I just had 168. Who's that? 168.
That's
Connor
Nixon.
saying someone has gone off track in front and blocking, trying to get back on. I'm not sure who he was referring to, but Mr. Dyke is there and abouts behind Mr. Nixon as well. Oh,
Mulford's piping up as well.
there's a lot of chatter going in the background.
So this might be what he was referring to. He passed Will Brown, so he's gone for the move down towards turn 1. He's got one of the other Phoenix cars alongside him at the same time.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
Sorry. I'm listening to I'm listening to the drivers as we go on. I'm not picking on Connor here, but it was a bit funny, I've got to say it. He's gone through, he's starting to give him a bit of a Bible. Oh, this has happened, that's happened, instead of just giving all the race control want is lap number, corner, and
that would be what he's referring to.
yeah,
Was the fact that
basically-
someone served their slowdown right in front of him, and yeah, he's still blocking him through the
yeah,
race.
correct. But then another car driver saying, for Christ's sake, just give him the lap number. Because it went for such a long time. Obviously, the boys in there, they're driving. These guys are focusing like crazy here. Everyone's on top of everyone, so there's a lot going on. And the last thing they need to hear is someone talking over the comms for describing an incident from left to right to movement and everything like that. But yeah, it is a lot of fun happening out there. I don't see a Mulford drive-through. Did you see a Mulford drive-through?
I've not seen that just yet. I think Roy's playing community race control at the moment.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He loves a bit of community race control, does old Crash Clark. Mainly because he gets into a lot of crashes and he knows what it's like to get given penalties.
Yeah. All right, where were we after all that action? The top 10 is looking spectacular. We are at lap 7 with 12 minutes into our first hour, nearly a quarter of the way. We've got 30 people out there watching, plus what's out there on Facebook land. Please like and subscribe and let us know. And hit the notification number, by the way, as well, so you get the notification when our racing is up. Also, let us know who you want to see. If there's a particular driver you have a look at. We'll try to get up and down the field as much as possible and make sure everyone gets a bit of screen time.
What Harry Dodds has done well to come back after getting turned round at turn 2, lap 1.
Yeah, 100%.
He's back inside the top 10. He's up 3 spots in the P7. Having a good run here ahead of Blake Delaney, Connor Nixon. Oh, it's he's dropping spots to Dylan Gray's. Yeah, that's why he's cut the track. That's going to be a big old slowdown for Dylan Gray, and he is likely now going to drop back, possibly even below Harry Dodds and Blake Delaney if he's not careful.
Yeah, 100%. The boys are really having a bit of a ding-dong at the front, so I'm going to put the front down there while you go through some of the other drives. Give him a bit of screen time. Yeah, but Connor Nixon's having a great old little battle there with Jamie Dyer behind him, Tim Mulford, Harry Dodds, Blake Delaney, 0.25 on the back of Dodds. So Blake seems to be getting a lot of around and about Harry Dodds in the last two races anyway. So maybe he's going to give you a few lessons and tips. But the young fella is up how many positions on Dad? 1, 2, 3, 4 places.
Yeah, he's 4 places. He started ahead of him by 2 places. He's gone up 6, where Blake's only gone up the 2. So yeah, he's pretty much doubled the gap that he had over Blake at the start of the race. Has the young guppy. Darren Lobb at the moment putting all sorts of pressure over Steve Vella, who is carrying some big damage on that Phoenix Racing Team car ahead of him. So Robbie may make this look easy quite soon, but he is currently dragging Anthony Visma forward with him. So I wouldn't even say that Visma's out of the hunt just yet. He's cut through behind Lobby quite nicely. He's following Lobby as he's making his run back up through the field. And Visma could be a challenger come the end of this race. Now, if a safety car goes their way, if say Rehan comes in to do his pit stop and there's a safety car called straight afterwards, all of a sudden, these guys have got a bit of a benefit on their hands. Well, to say that Visma brought his car into pit lane and is going to take the first early pit stop of this race. So a little bit of undercut.
That is a very early pit stop, mate. That's a very early. That's like about 3 laps earlier than what we saw on Tuesday night.
Yeah, so he's gone for the undercut strategy. A little bit of fuel saving may be needed to get the car home. We'll see if it pays off in this race.
Let's you jump onto the car with Dikey and let's see how much fuel saving he's doing.
For Dikey, you want to go on board with him?
Yeah. Let's have a listen because he's sit. I'll be quiet for a sec.
Possibly a little bit of clutch into the braking zone.
It'll be this section here where it does it. Probably near the bridge. The overpass. Right up into here, yeah?
Yeah, no, maybe a little bit on throttle, but
Yep.
it doesn't seem like too much. There's no real clutch in
It
front
seems like he's content to stay behind him at the moment. He's sitting there at 3/10, pretty much the whole gap. He's not really pulling out left and right and getting into his mirrors or anything like that. He's just sitting in that draft and just doing his job. He's in the 16-minute mark. I reckon Dikey's going to pit around
around 20 minutes. Make it a definite
yeah.
two-stopper.
No, a bit later. I think lap 12 was where they did the other night. I reckon he's going to be doing lap 14, somewhere in there, maybe even a little bit more.
Oh, I can tell you right now, he's just clutched into turn 1.
There you go.
So he is fuel savings there. Jack Oz, Mr. Crow does not do the Sunday night. He only does Tuesday nights, where Shane is the Simrigs Infinity Motorsport representative on the Sunday night races. Because he has more time to race on Sunday than what Robbie does.
Car 68 has been asked to readdress. I think it was car 68.
Car
pretty noisy out there.
Would be no one. We don't have a 68. Maybe it's Darren Crosby, car 66.
He was black flagged. He did his black flag.
There's 686, which is
maybe the boys will put it up on screen.
Yeah, there's 686, which is it might be Connor Nixon 168, but he hasn't done anything to incur a redress. 686 is Blake Fitzpatrick, so whether he has to redress something, I don't know.
Might have been Fitzpatrick 686 on Kennedy. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see it in a minute. The boys will give us a hoy. I guess we've got to work on something so we can get this information a bit clearer. Probably my end, maybe just turn the cars down a little bit more, but I love the sound of these cars coming down the straight, changing through the gears, going past the cameras. It's just sensational. Gives me that extra buzz to get motivated to have a chin wag with you all out there.
Yeah, Hainesy's simple Simon Hayes making a good point. Staying in the draft is fuel saving enough. That is true, Simon. He would be saving a heap of fuel behind Connor Nixon right now. Nixon looks to bring it into pit lane. He is, so he's actually going to release Jamie Dyke now.
There you go.
So this is now going to force lap 11. So this is actually going to force Dykey's hand now when he actually comes in, because he no longer has the toe to be able to fuel save it unless he can catch up to his teammate Ty Delaney. But he also doesn't want Ty to give up too much time to Leonard, who's already gained 6.6 seconds on him as well.
Okay, here we go. There's a story building in the back end. There was he was supposed to readdress. We missed, obviously, what the readdress was. But Connor Nixon has gone in the pit instead of readdressing. Now, Mulford has actually come in on the comments saying, does him pitting count as him readdressing? So they're reviewing that at the moment. So we'll hear a bit more of that in a minute. So there's a bit of a...
I would say, if Connor comes round, if it's on Dikey, if he comes round and Dikey's coming out of pit lane as Connor comes round, I think if he lets Dikey stay ahead of him out of the extra pits, I think that's fair. If he ends up ahead of Dikey when Dikey comes out of the pits, then he just gives the decision back to him. I think that's a fair redress. I don't think it's fair if he's done it under safety car and then doesn't let Dykey stay ahead of him. If you know what I mean. Like, if he lets Dykey stay ahead of him, then fair enough. Like,
so race control is satisfied with him going in the pits and letting the car past him. I guess it will change. The tune will change very quickly from the drivers if he does gain an undercut there. How's Cowie going? He had an incident early on where he was
carrying some damage. He hasn't had a good run. He hasn't had a good run at Monza this week, Tuesday and tonight. He had a bit of he was a bit unlucky on Tuesday to get caught up with him. You know, surely would have to. You know, he had the big incident on Tuesday, lap 1, then he really never recovered. And the same sort of happened to him here tonight. Yep. He's back in P24.
Big is starting.
Yeah. So, Jack was saying surely redress would have to happen after both hit them. That's what I think.
It'd be interesting here, actually. I will get my camera on Mulford. Because it sounds like that's where the addressing is going to be.
Where's Mr. Nixon? There is Mr. Nixon. As Mulford comes out of the pit lane. So if he, I mean, Nixon, he's not even going to get past Mulford at this point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I mean, it's a good question of, is that fair in terms of the redress? Douglas is also saying, any chance of having a novelty race in the break between seasons using the uncommon cars at the Monza Classic combined circuit with the Oval? I'd like to organise a fun one-off event for during the break for you. That would be kind of cool. Maybe using like, I don't know, legacy supercars at old Monza, or you know, the old bathtub Formula 1 cars, or even a free car as well, like the old Cadillac CBS sort of GT car. I was thinking that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I love some of those old cars. Some of those old cars are absolutely amazing to drive. Just see where there's some good battles going on at the moment. The grid has really started to spread out. It usually happens around this sort of time frame, around lap 13.
We are mid-pit stop now as well. And the field's probably going to stay kind of petered out until the last pit stop, when all the strategies kind of line up and come together. So this is kind of, we speak about it often, it's that awkward stage of the race where everyone kind of spreads out. It's all about just trying to stay clean to your next pit stop, and the gains are really made on how much you can actually make up over a competitor, you know, of where you may be seeded around after the second stop later in the race. So Connor, for example, if he can go fast enough across this next stint, he may not be around, say, Jamie Dyke, but he may end up behind Jamie, depending on how both their runs go in this middle stint towards the final pit stop.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I've got the camera down on the back marker battle. So we've got Mark Horton, who's sitting there in lap 22, position 22. But the boys are battling like crazy back there. So you've got Steve Vella, Steve Kennedy, Travis Daly, all within a couple of tenths of Mark, and coming through quite hot through there, as Crosby is just pitted. So he's up. He's managed to get himself up 5 places after all that as well, after his drive-through. So it should be interesting to see how he comes back out into the field, and where he comes back out with these boys. He'll probably tag onto the back of them, which won't be too bad a thing, because there's 2 M1s there. He's a fair way back. He's still in the pit.
Yeah, he is. He's still in that pit bay, so he's probably not going to come out until... This is a long stop. I reckon he's copped himself a stop and hold. He's gone 40 seconds in the pits. If he goes to 60, joins the track, that's a stop and hold for sure. As Leonard has just put his car into pit lane, drive-through penalty, 009, contact on lap 11, turn 10. That is for... That's for Mark Houghton, who you're focused on right now, Sinker. So he's going to have to come for a traverse through the lane. Crosby's just come out at a minute, so I reckon he's copped a speeding in pit lane, and he's had to do a stop hold.
Yeah, possibly. Leonard is still in the pits, and we've got Mulford, who was about 4 places behind him, coming up soon. So it'll be a good one to see where he's going to come out with. I'm just going to switch the cameras across to... No need.
well. Rehan's stop was a 24.83 on lap 13. So it was actually one of the slower pit stop times for a regular stop, so he's taken slightly more fuel. Be interested to see what Dykey's stop's going to be like, seeing as he's gone a couple laps longer now than what Rehan is.
Not only that, but Mulford took himself out of the picture and went in the pits, and Blake Delaney hot on the heels of the back of his teammate there like crazy. 0.3 seconds and doing really well. He's got himself up 6 places, done a stellar job getting up there.
Jamie's done an incredible job too. To keep it
down the bottom. See Vella and Horton.
They're both carrying
Very,
similar
very
damage
close.
on their cars as well, Sinko. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
quite an even battle between them.
Yeah. Have a look at Kennedy on the back of Vella. He is going to try to take him at the chicane. Is he? No. Vella's gone on the inside. Is he going to take it under brakes? Is he going to be able to hold it? He hasn't slid. He's taken it clean. Oh, he hasn't made it. He hasn't made it. Both of them haven't made it.
Oh.
There's going to be slowdown, maybe for both.
Yeah, it'd have to be. It would have to be. And Houghton has to do it
Oh,
off the
tell you
racing
what.
line as well. And he's coming through the Lesmos, so they have to let those M1 cars pass fairly quickly. They're probably going to do it on the run down to Ascari.
Yeah, look, they're going to have to... I think it's a rule we're going to have to put out there for everyone to refresh and remember. You cannot do a slowdown on the race line. And looks like these boys are going to go. Looks like Kennedy's going to have a crack on the outside. Is he going to be able to maintain it through the... Oh, what a pass by Kennedy! Excellent work there. Excellent work. He did that so clean. Under brakes. Well done.
Like I said, Dylan Gray is now coming to the pit lane. He's actually ended up coming out in behind Connor Nixon now. So Nixon has actually stayed ahead of Gray through the pit stop period. In fact, Peter Pavlik currently separates both of them. I believe Pav.
Two now.
Pavlik's in the pit stop as well. So going those 4 laps longer. He actually did quite a similar pit stop time. He went, Nixon went 20.2. Gray went a 20.38 as Nixon now gets past Stacey Boyd as well. So they're actually quite on tune with each other with how much fuel they're having to put in the car, as Kennedy has had a moment down the back straight. Oh no, sorry, it's at turn 1. So he's actually gone across turn 1, 2. This is going to be a massive slowdown. And unfortunately, that car looks... I know, it's just he's giving a massive slowdown. So he's almost having to park it down the straight.
I reckon some of these drivers are listening to us, mate, because they're talking. I just heard someone mention that. Can we have a look at some of the slowdown on on the racing line?
So yeah, that's
Smarty.
That was Kennedy crossing.
Yeah. Here we
turn
go.
1, 2.
Pits are dropping. Delaney, Dyke, Dodds, Lob, all in the pits. Lob up. How many places? I'm going to get that camera on.
He's up 22 as Leonage comes around the final corner. All 6 of them are still in the lane. Dykey will be on his way out in just a moment. He's still on the jacks. Mulford's come past as well, so that's been a big gain for him.
Yeah.
Delaney's actually out over Dyke as he comes out of the pit lane. Nixon has also jumped them, so has Dylan Gray. So this has been a big gain for them. They've gone slightly too long, I reckon, Sinko.
Yeah, they got slowed too long. I've got the camera coming out now. And you can see Visma even coming down up against Dyke just on the right-hand side there. So Visma's done an amazing job of getting himself back at the pointy end of the field. He's done a really good job.
Yeah, he's done I guess it was lucky for him. He got turned on lap 1 instead of like maybe lap 5, because at least has given him the opportunity to actually catch back up through the field. But it is showing his pure pace over the rest of the field. Currently, though, fastest lap of the race is sitting with
Leonage, 1:48.511. Yeah.
Exceptional time.
Yeah. Have a look. Did we just barely mention him at the very end of the conversations today? Blake Delaney has got himself, he could be coming back into some form. And look at him, there he is, shining light on the front of the grid.
This is true, but he also needs that pit stop sinker as he comes in now.
Yep, there he is now.
Will Brown, we suspect, would also be following him in. He's Guys are going super, super long. 17 laps on a single stint. What this is going to mean is, though, is they're now going to have a super short stop at the end of this race, and that's where they're going to gain on the competitors. So we're going to see how this is going to play out for the likes of Delaney and Brown as Rehan comes round.
Switch this to Delaney. Where is he gone?
As they follow on course, Gray is starting to chase down Connor Nixon at the moment. Let's look at this battle just for a little bit here, see how it progresses between them. On board now with Dylan Gray down towards turn one, in behind.
Here comes Blake coming out.
Yep.
Just as you'll see him come out there.
He comes out.
He's tucked in behind.
He'll be in behind Anthony Vismar and ahead of Brad Doble at the moment. So he's at least gained a position on track.
And some open air as well.
That's it. That's right. Unfortunately for him, though, he's not behind Visma where he'd get the tow. So he's going to have to put some epic laps in to try and catch that gap up of 3.6 seconds. As Gray has caught immensely on Nixon through 4 and 5. We'll see how much faster he can go than him through the Lesmo curbs at 6 and 7.
Those boys in the pits there, Dykey was on the racks for 25 seconds. Ty Delaney was 28. But Ty still got out of there a bit quicker than him. I don't know how he did that.
Dylan Gray is going to look to go down the inside of Connor Nixon. He's going to let him go. Nixon now, I suspect, is going to be full fuel save in behind Dylan Gray, because Gray is pushing ultra hard and, you know, he's got some good pace about him. Do we think, though, the fuel strategy is going to pay off better for Nixon, seeing as he's basically ultra saving instead of going kind of balls to the wall?
The pace that Gray just passed him at, he's going to be fuel weary all the way through. Gray is just thinking about getting there fast at the end. I think you'll find that he'll gap him. I think he went too early. He went lap 10, man. That was way too early. He's the earliest one in the pits for a normal pit.
Apart from Anthony Vismar.
Vismar, did Vismar go in for a car issue?
No, I think he came in for a genuine stop. He came in on lap 8. I reckon that was a genuine stop for Vismar. Although, but Dylan Gray's absolutely blown it up through turn 1. That's going to be a big old slowdown for him. Nixon's going to say, thank you, sir. I'll take that position back and head back into P3 on the road. Laz is saying that Blake and Will going for a one-stop. This is true. Blake's probably, he came in probably about the half an hour mark, so he's trying to push the limits of going for that one-stop strategy. We'll see if it pays off. Yep. Stephen Kennedy's had an incident on lap 17. What has happened to him down here at turn 1? Is he straight-lined it again? Yeah.
He's touched the grass a bit.
No, he's turned in. And he's rotated around, had to stay there.
He's turned in too tight.
Yeah, he's had to sit there and wait for the field to come past him. He's not having the best of nights as Stephen Kennedy at the moment.
Well, as we've seen, it's now a long race. We're at the 33-minute mark, so we'll probably see some more action around pit action or anything around the 45-minute mark, judging on these pits at the moment. But it's going to be some fights galore. Let's find some battles out there that are going hot. Obviously, Vismar's on the back of Dykey, as we can see on the main screen at the moment. And he's 3/10 in the back of him and really getting into his mirrors left and right. Dykey is he's an old campaigner. He won't really be worried about that as much. He'll be focusing on what's going on in front of him, not what's going on behind him. Then you've got Dylan Gray and Ty Delaney. Ty is 7/10 behind Dylan. And let's see, there's some battles in the back of the field that we can get in there that are looking very interesting. Well, I'll go down to Blake Fitzpatrick's.
Yeah, with he's got Kennedy and Coleman in behind him.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? That was
what has happened?
I couldn't quite hear what it was, but it's a post-race discussion about an incident that happened. I'm not sure. They didn't give us much more details. What I am thinking, the boys, maybe they can when there's no further action incident between drivers, something that we've been talking about. Maybe they can tell us as the MFA, screen like they are with the incidents and calls. That way we can add to the storyline, because sometimes it's really hard to hear through the EPs. But the boys down the bottom here, you've got Fitzpatrick, Coleman and Kennedy getting closer and closer to each other there. A third little battle that we've got going on.
Tell you what, Sinker, I am a little bit perplexed. I don't want to say. I'm more, maybe more disappointed for John Gallen, who's currently sitting in P27, and he's just not having what I would have expected of him to have driven like tonight. And I don't know if there's maybe something wrong or whatever it is. I'm a bit disappointed for him, because I really, knowing John, he'd be hopeful he could be getting into some really, really good battles out there. And sitting so far back, I don't know if he's been caught up in any trouble on track or whatever it might be, but he just seems off his game tonight in comparison to what he's been doing over the last week.
You got to love our RC boys. They're listening downstairs, and they just put up on the screen that that was Harry. I think it was Harry Dodds 981 got a going to have a points penalty or something like that.
Yep.
Or discussion afterwards. You were talking, and I forgot to read the whole thing. But anyway, for competing while slowing down, serving his
slow down
on race line.
V8's next week, Jack Oz. We are still in the Italian countryside. We head over to Imola for round number 3 of the season. It's going to be a big week of racing. I'm looking forward to that. The week after, we then head over to
Wheels in the pits.
think Spa.
Yep.
I think is the week after that. I'll check.
I do love the V8s at Spa. There's just something about it. It's not a traditional track by any means. It's got some really narrow points in it. But I just love the way those cars drive around there.
Yeah, it is Spa the week after. And then we go to Fuji for round 5, and then the Australian triple header of Sandown, Oran Park, and Bathurst. Sandown and Bathurst are the Enduros, and then Road America to round out the season. So a strong run home for the supercars. Oh, Jack was saying he may make a rare appearance in the Supercars series then. Very, very good.
So Stacey Boyd's got Peter Pav and Mark Horton chasing them down. I've got them in the lower camera there. Very close, coming through all the final chicane down to the back straight.
We got to give a bit of a shout out to Stacey Boyd. He gets up at like 3 in the morning local time to come and race with us here in Australia.
Yep.
He does it on both Thursday and Sunday. Exceptional efforts and shows. I mean, like, he races for an Australian sim racing team as someone who lives in Buffalo, in the US.
Oh, Buffalo.
Like, that is just exceptional.
The boys are egging themselves on out there. Harry's going, I'm going to get you, little lady. And I think I heard Blake Senior go, get him, Dodds. So the boys are, as much as this is such a fierce competition out there, viewers, and you guys know it just as much as we do it, because we're all racers. Most of you guys out there as SRW racers out there. It's amazing the passion and the fun that still goes out there on track. Even though we don't condone the chatter on the comms, it does slip through sometimes. Vella and Daly have gone in through the pits. They're gone through their little fuel spit. Have a look at his bottom screen. Look how close this is.
Oh, look at that. The bump draft, Sinker. As I said, the bump draft in action from Pav and Houghton to get past Boyd. Exceptional.
Yeah. Really, really well done. Really well done.
That is
that
is incredible strategy being played out by those boys at the moment.
And they're having fun about it too.
They are. And you know what? I can appreciate, Sinker, when those little chirps come over the radio between drivers. You know, just a little offhand comment of, you know, go get him, Dodsy, and stuff like that. Just a bit of fun. Keep the fun about it. Doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Tim Mulford into the pit lane now. Take his second compulsory stop of the race with 20 minutes to go.
Let's see where he comes out. That's his second one?
Yeah, it's his second stop. This is Tim's second stop. Visma is also into the pit lane, so he can make it home. So he now drops off the back of this battle with Delaney Jr., the young guppy, Dylan Gray and Jamie Dyke as well. As they come in towards turn 1. Gray in the sandwich of this little fish sandwich battle. He is in
Emma's
with
down
Dyke
there
and
on those
Delaney.
boys in the pits. I've got Mulford on screen. He's just put the pedal down and done a little bit of a chirpy on the way out the door. He's coming out on the track. It doesn't look like there's a hell of a lot coming down there, so he's got himself some clean air.
He's come out behind his teammate Will Brown and ahead of Troy Dooley, who's now approaching the back of him into the braking zone. So got himself a good amount of clean air around him.
Yep.
As he looks ahead towards the end of this race. So 20 minutes to go, Sinker. It's been a big race so far. Not too much chaos in terms of safety car causing moments, but some chaos in terms of changing how the structure of this race has been run and who is in contention for this win. And it's going to be interesting how this is going to play out now. Rehan, I mean, he's 14.7 seconds ahead of Connor Nixon right now at the front of the field.
Yeah.
I think if we were to get a safety car, let's get it after Rehan has his pit stop. That'd be the best way to script it, wouldn't it? Drag him back in, put the pressure on the young fella from Connor or Ty or Dylan Gray, whoever it might be, and keep the pressure applied and see how the last 10-15 minutes goes of this race.
He's Connor Nixon's in the pits, so he's doing his second pit right now. You know what? He's lapping consistency. He's doing some really good laps. His last lap was a 1:49.155, so he's about 4/10 from the average out there. The only other one that's been really close to him and consistent to his times all the way through has been Darren Lobb. He's been doing some great driving out there, so he's done well. But again, it's just consistency at the moment, and let's see what happens. We're at the pointy end. We're down to the 20-minute or the 19-minute mark. We're past the 20-minute mark. Some of these pit strategies are going to come through now. Ty Delaney's in as well. Connor Nixon, Dylan Gray.
I just want to see this because Doug Youngs has called out latest PR car to exit pit. That was John Gallen. He's saying, were they crossing the line on the pit exit? I just want to see if this has actually happened or not. So John came out.
The blue cone, they're blue cones there.
He was close. He was all right though. That was all right.
Yeah, it's the blue cone, so it wasn't too bad.
I can't see any other PR cars coming out of the lane since then. Yeah, no, I think he was the last one.
Leon Arge has done an amazing job out there. 23 seconds on Dykey. Dykey's still got himself at the top end of the race again. He's going to go for the consistency, I think, this season. I think he's going to do a Joe Money.
Well, it paid off for him last season in winning the championship. He didn't take a win next season. Last season, sorry.
Dykey?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have, yeah.
I think he took one or two. But he was consistent. He was in the top 5 majority of the running. Was Mr. Don.
Dylan Gray's just set the fastest lap, the 1:48.496 on some, I'm assuming, fresh rubber. No IRacing penalties active, Doug. So yeah, they would have been clean. Here we go, Dykey, Dodds, and Doble into the pits. I'm going to switch my camera off to those guys in the pits at the moment. Hamish,
yeah, mate.
And let's see how it comes out.
I'll chuck it on Nixon. He's going to come past them. So Nixon and Ty Delaney have passed all three of them. Dylan Gray is getting past them as well. Anthony Visma is the one we're going to keep an eye on.
There's Visma. Dykey's on his jack still.
So Dykey's having to take a long stop. Has he sped in the pit lane, Sinker? He has. He for sure has. Yep. 45, 40. There's no way knowing he would take 46 seconds on the jacks.
No.
He has for sure.
Oh, he won't be happy if he has, mate. He will not be happy. He'll be filthy at himself.
Where is
IRacing black flag pit entry.
Yep.
For car number 1. Thank you, race control. Jeez, the boys have cottoned on very quickly tonight, haven't they?
They have. They've listened to absolute perfection.
Procedural change, and they've done a great job of doing that. Oh, he would be absolutely kicking himself. I'm surprised if there was not a Dare ice cream empty bottle being thrown across the room in there.
Ice cream?
Because that's just cost
you
him.
mean iced coffee? Oh.
He would have been. Which race is it where they scull the milk at the end of the race? Is it the Indianapolis?
I think it's Indy. So this is Dykey's entry to the pit lane. Let's watch this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he was hard on the brakes, and that is for sure a speeding into pit lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's cost him a podium, mate. That has cost him a podium.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, that's where is he come out? He's come out. Oh, look at that.
He's come out back in
My
P17,
goodness.
so that's pretty much taken any hopes of a top 10 out of him here tonight. Darren Lobb is up 26 positions, mind you. Has done one stop. He might be pushing for a one-stop race.
Yeah.
Because he came in on lap 15. He is up 26 spots. If he can make it home on one stop sinker as well as Blake Delaney and Will Brown, that's our top 3. If they can do
100%.
it. If 100%. They can do it.
Yeah. I'm going to go to Shane Randell. He's got a bit of he's having a bit of fun back there with Brad Doble. Doble, we know Doble's capabilities in what he does out there. And he's a great driver out there. And he's battling with your teammate at the moment on the bottom screen. They're a couple of tenths apart and having an absolute blast.
Lobby's coming through a scarring now. Randall lets him have the position. I think Shane, he came in on the same lap as Lobby. He may be attempting a one-stop as well, so he might
just be in the pits.
Yep, so Rehan's in.
Let's see how this comes out for him. I'm just going to quickly switch the camera over. He's in the pits. He's on the jacks at the moment as we speak. Who are we looking at coming past him? We're looking at Darren Lobb. He's going to come
he's
out.
in the pit lane. Lobby's in.
Here we go. He's going in as well.
Yep, that means
Blake and Will Brown.
Yep, that means the lap 15 pitters will not make it home. So Blake Delaney's going to come past Rehan Leonage as he attempts a one-stop strategy in this race. But I don't know if Blake can pull this off whilst fuel saving against Rehan, who can go full beans.
Yeah, that's going to be the tough bit.
I don't know if that's going to work out for Blake. We will see. And I'm sure he'll put up the track on it.
It's not always about the win. Like we said, consistency is the key, and you maximise your points in every round. He's got 17 seconds on Will Brown, and young Delaney is another 2 seconds behind there. So he's got about 20 seconds as a buffer for a podium for the next 13 minutes, 12 minutes. Oh, someone's requiring a tow.
That is Bruce Tannock.
1, 2, 3.
In the wall. I saw him in the wall before. He, this will be why it was down at 4-5. There we go. So, could not have had it called at the more perfect time, Sinker. Bruce Tannock.
Is there a bit of collusion going on here?
Bruce Tannock knows Bruce Tannock knows the script apparently to cause a right as Rehan Leonage has come in a bit late. So this is now, what this has now done is this has now given Blake Delaney a lifeline because he can full clutch in behind safety car. It's given Will Brown a lifeline, and it's going to drag Rehan Leonage back towards Ty Delaney and Connor Nixon, who can go full beans onto the back of him and Will and Blake. All of a sudden, it is all to play for.
Epic. This is going to be epic.
And let's not forget about as well, we've got Lobby, who's in P9, up 19 spots, Sinker, who can also go full beans because he doesn't need to fuel save now. So all the pressure...
Laz is like all planned.
See, Laz, he knew. So...
This is Connor Nixon just set the fastest lap as well.
He has.
A 1:48.279. So it's a pretty damn good lap.
So
this is going to be very interesting.
What has just happened with Darren Crosby and Mark Houghton? I'm sorry to cut you off there, Sinker. Mark Houghton has just drilled the back of Darren Crosby under yellows. What?
Okay, so what's happened is there's cars were slowed down to let the safety car through, and there was a tangle there. I think that was Horton that went up in the air over the top of Crosby.
So hang on, yeah, it
So
was.
I'm not sure
so
what happened there.
Hang on. So they're letting the safety car through so it can pick up the leader. Wouldn't it make more sense to have the safety car wait at pit exit and wait for the leader to come back around?
Look, they're trying to save time because there's 10 minutes left, I guess. And yeah, so that was a bit hairy. That I saw a car go up in the air. I'm not sure who it was.
That was Mark Houghton. That could have been race. That could have been like completely changed the game of the race if he had hit either Blake or Rehan.
Yeah.
Like, and now Mark's now also gained an advantage over Darren because they're on the same lap, and he's been given a free wave around and been able to push on ahead of Darren and actually get an advantage over him now. I think honestly now RC, just put my RC cap on for a second. RC need to look at giving Mark Houghton a drive-through penalty for that because he's hit Darren Crosby under safety car and has then passed him and not let the safety car sit in front of him.
I'm sure they're looking into it. They're having a bit of a chat by the sounds of it.
Bruce Tunnick has been allowed to tow back to pit lane.
All right, so they're all lining up and getting ready to go. Whew. All right, I'm going to put my camera on. Okay, so car 009 is saying that everyone stopped and then he didn't know that was happening, and he's run into the back of them. Race controls actually told them because they had a fair gap on the back there because the safety car was coming through, and he didn't hear it obviously. Okay, safety car. Cancel that. There was going to be going through, but safety car's doing one more lap.
Yeah,
okay, so they were looking at doing.
I think Greg's talking about me about stops and guesses. Sorry, we were trying to make sense of it in that moment of what was happening, and we could only really call of what we could see, obviously. But I mean, it's all sorted now. It's all sorted now.
Yeah, it's all good. So they've sorted it all out. They've told them to slow down and get out of the way. One of the drivers didn't hear it, drove right at the back of one of the other drivers, which is unfortunate. Safety car was going to go, but they're going to let, I think that's Crosby that's just taken off.
Get his wave around.
Get his wave around, and then they're going to go crazy for the last 6 minutes or so, whatever we got left. We'll have about, somewhere around 5.5 to 6 minutes. It is going to be a sprint like crazy. Blake Delaney out in front, leading the boys out. It's going to be interesting to see where he starts his race from, when he hits the go button. I'd probably assume he'll probably try to leave it as late as possible.
Yeah.
Leonard's behind him, Will Brown behind him, Young, Ty Delaney, Connor Nixon, No Slouch, Mulford, Gray, Dodds, Lobb. This is going to be crazy these last 5 minutes.
I want to put forward a scenario to you, Sinker. Top four are made up of two teams right now, Fishy and Phoenix. Blake is leading the race with Rehan, Leonage and Will Brown in behind him. Will Brown's in the same position that Blake is. Rehan can push through. And then in behind them is his son in Ty Delaney. Right now, Blake is probably offering up Ty anything he wants for his birthday, anything he wants for Christmas, to make it as hard as possible for Will Brown and Rehan Leonage to hound him at the front of this field and take this win off him right now.
Well, he's got a lot of work. He's not like he's in front of them where he can slow them down or anything.
No, that's right. That's right. He's going to say, if you get past them and hold them back, you can have, a new PC or a new rig for Christmas.
For, mate. That's a lot to ask
for.
I mean, might be a 21st birthday present, not a 16. I don't know where to put my camera now at the moment. I think I might do it on Ty Delaney because he's in the back of those four, and that way we can see the front of it and the back of it as it's folding out. Safety car is going in after this lap.
Yep.
This is going to be crazy.
Simon, I reckon Crosby's been working on his retro this week, and that's why he's left the Ford credit livery on his car instead of the M1 Racing livery. But, We'll see, though, who is going to get this advantage off this start. It's going to be Delaney, Leonage, Brown, Delaney, Nixon as the top 5. Mulford's involved, Gray's involved, Dodds is involved, Lobb, Visma. If it blows up the front, it's going to have massive implications for not only the win of this race, but possibly the championship at the end of the season as well. Put your picks in the chat. Who you think is going to take the win in this one? If Delaney can hold on to Leonage, he'll be full clutch in right now, full fuel save, trying to save as much as he can whilst they're going slow. And Leonage
he's loving the fact that we did one more lap. He's
yeah.
loving that fact. He knows that he's got probably 2 laps. Oh, 3. We're going to have about 3 laps to go. Yeah, because they'll cross the second lap and there'll be still some time left. So there'll be 3 laps to go at least.
That's right.
This is going to be 3 laps like crazy out here.
Well, it's going to be Delaney versus Leonage at the front of the field. Delaney will be parking the bus as much as he can to not let Rehan or Will Brown pass him. He'll be hoping to get the support of his young fella in Ty in P4. The safety car is in.
Yep, safety car, the lights are out. He's pulling away from the field.
This is going to be intense. This is going to
There
be intense.
has been a question asked. Can you anticipate the start gate advantage? No, you cannot. Your job is to stay in line as we see them now on screen and not drift out wide to try to gain an advantage. They are to all accelerate when the leader accelerates, no sooner, and maintain that position and pace all the way through. So Mr. Blake Delaney has the lead, and we'll see when he's going to tramp it.
He's gone now. He's gone before the Fly Emirates sign onto the main straight. We are green running with 3.5 minutes to go, and Delaney is trying to break that toe as best he can down towards turn 1 with Rehan Leonage hounding the back of him at the moment into turn 1. Delaney covers that inside line as best he can. Rehan is just trying to fight any which way around him at the moment as they come round turn 3. Oh, they are so close. And it is full pressure right now on Blake Delaney. He hasn't taken a win in this series in so long. He's got to line up to cover the inside from Rehan at 4 and 5. Rehan's just going to have to try and send it at some point if he hopes to get this done. It's like peak hour traffic on the freeway right now. They are fully backed up from Blake Delaney at the front of the field. The cork in the bottle moment is happening right now, and we'll see if it explodes like the bottles of champagne at the end of this race. Rehan Delaney 1v1 with Brown and Ty in behind to support as they come around the Lesmos up towards Ascari.
That was some classic driving there. Dylan Gray went a little bit wide at one point, didn't maintain to keep it back online. There was one little moment there where Will Brown nearly went right on the back of it. Here we go, Leonage having a look on the inside. He's under brakes. He's going to push him a little bit wide, take the corner cleanly. He's done an exceptional job, but look at little Ty Delaney. He's got the pressure all over Will Brown in the back there. There's a few seconds there where he had to back off his pace so he didn't hit his teammate, and Ty got right on the back of him. So Leonage is breaking the toe straight away. He's got 2 moves to make, one out, then back in again under brakes.
Here comes Ty on Will Brown at the Parabolica. Down the inside comes young Delaney, gets the move done. Connor Nixon's going to follow him round. They are door to door right now onto the main straight of Monza here. Leonage leads them on to lap 30. 58 minutes into this one. There's going to be 2 laps to go, and it's Rehan Leonage who leads this race, top 5. They're all in contention right now. Nixon may try to send this up the inside at turn 1 on Ty Delaney. No, backs out of it.
Squeezed him out.
Oh, he has. Here comes Lobby and down the inside. He's made contact with Will Brown.
On final lap. We are on final lap.
It's final lap time right now. Dykey straight line the first 2 corners. He's going to get a big slowdown. But it's Leonage who leads to Blake Delaney, Ty Delaney in behind, Connor Nixon P4, Tim Mulford at P5, Robbie Brown, Dodds, Visma and Gray make up the top 10 in towards 4 and 5 now. Leonage has got this thing in hand. He's got it in control. Delaney has to fuel save, but he has to be careful of slowdowns. Yeah, he has to be careful of these slowdowns, Sinker. He cannot afford any slowdown, otherwise Blake is going to streamline past him as they come up towards Lesmo 7.
Okay, so Tim Mulford is having a say about someone under brakes movement and stuff like that. Dykey had an incident there where he screamed out race control, whatever lap it was. So the boys are actually going nuts. I'm going to take this out of my ear because I don't want to listen to it anymore because they're going absolutely crazy in there. But have a look at Leonard.
Oh, he is in a world of his own right now.
Putting it down like crazy. And the Blake family, first and second in the championship for a podium finish. This is something new and something very special. We haven't had a father-son on the top step of the Pro Championship race yet. And have a look at this as he's coming around the final corner.
Rehan Leonard, P1 on the road. It was put the challenge to him when the safety car came out, but he's managed to get past Blake Delaney. He takes the win at Monza. Ty's going to get past his dad into P2. Blake's going to come home in P3. Nixon comes home in P4. And Lobby for DPR is going to get all the way up 23 positions into P5 on the road here tonight as well.
Look at that grid coming across the line. That was the sprint to 30 cars.
I know.
Like,
Rehan has set the fastest lap of the race on the final lap at 148.12 as he crossed the line.
As the famous Shane Crawford say, that's what I'm talking about. That was amazing. That was some great driving from all drivers everywhere.
What a end to this race. You can never have possibly picked it. As Rehan is just slowly trying to get his car round. He may be, I don't know if he'd be out of fuel or not, but he is going super, super slow right now to try and get this thing round. Possibly trying to initiate a drift for us around turn 3. Yeah, there it is. Bit of a drift. Man, oh man, what a race for Rehan Leonard. Another win in the books for him here on Sunday night.
Stuff. A lot going on in the back, in and around the backs with the drivers and that. I'm not sure if it's heated or not, but I tell you what, that was some epic tight driving all the way through the field there. We focused on the front end because that's where the action was. Leonard, the young fella, best lap of the night on the final lap when he needed it the most, and absolute perler. And then we'll have to find out what's going on there with Mr. Delaney and junior and senior, whether that swap was deliberate, maybe because Ty needs some more points because he's been on the track a bit more than Dad. Let's see what happens when we get them both in the booth. But we're going to do 3 in the booth tonight, mate. We don't have to do all the different categories.
Yeah, because there's no different. That's it. It's only 3 on Sundays now. Results for you of round 2 of season 3, the provisional as they are. Rehan Leonard has taken first position for Phoenix Racing Team here tonight, ahead of the Delaney duo of Ty and Blake of Fishy Motorsports in P2 and P3. Connor Nixon then comes home in P4 for Drop Bear Motorsport, ahead of Darren Lobb of DPR out of P5. Will Brown, Tim Mulford, Harry Dodds, Dylan Gray, Anthony Visma to make up the top 10, ahead of Brad Doble, Stacey Boyd, Jamie Dyke, David Coleman and Travis Daly making up the 15. Troy Dooley, Will Buchanan, Steve Vella, Peter Pavlik to make up the top 19 cars on the road, as they then move on back to P20 and Blake Fitzpatrick, Darren Crosby, Andrew Cowan, Shane Randall, Stephen Kennedy, John Gallen make up the top 25, Mark Houghton, Bruce Tannick, Sam Noble. I don't believe. I think Gallen made the end. I don't think Houghton, Tannick, or Noble made the end of this race.
All right. So you know what I always say this time of the race? The boys doing burnouts for me, mate, and they're doing it in synchronicity at the moment. You can see I think that was Blake and yeah, it was. It was father and son actually doing a full rotation in synchronicity. Then it was quite special. The boys are there. I think Leonard has got himself a bit further up in the thing. I think these boys are going to wait till their engines pop and then come through it. But mate, what a night! Sunday night, round 2.
I know. Also, I'm just going to point out, Singer, that camera angle you wanted me to get for first place. He'd have to park in the pole actual grid spot to get that camera angle. So
yeah, that's okay. That's we'll have to work that out at some point for the boys. So the pole to park on the pole position is a great camera angle to have. I love it. Sam Kudakazino, Laz, do you have permission to scrape some DNA from your son and try to infuse it so that I can improve like him?
And Laz,
Sam,
very diplomatic from Laz after that.
Gone, mate.
Yeah, Laz after that, very diplomatic, saying, not sure about DNA, but we can help with some coaching.
We can help with some coaching. Yeah. Oh, there they are. Actually, there's young Laz doing a burnout at the front on that screen. I'll put him on camera for you so you can see him doing his burnout. Where is he? There he is.
Young Rehan doing his burnout.
Yeah.
There it is.
Doing his burnout. The boys have done some epic fun out there. There's young Ty. Let's see, they'll do a tandem. Two 15-year-olds. Look at that. First and second. Didn't we say something about this earlier in the night?
I know.
Unbelievable.
I wonder why Connor's gone into the green room. He didn't finish on the podium.
I don't know. Maybe he thinks he deserves to be heard.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. Let's start with the
We might as
senior,
well,
Mr. Blake Delaney.
we might as well bring them both in.
Yeah, okay, if you want. Yeah,
You
go
might
for
as
it.
well.
I'll grab
I mean,
Blake, you grab Ty.
I will do, yep. We've
The
decided-
Delaney family,
Yep.
congratulations on, I'm tipping this is the first time in a pro level championship that the father and son have got first, second and third on the podium together at the same night.
I don't actually know, mate, to be honest, but let's take it anyway.
Was there high fives going on or what?
I don't think he was happy with me letting past on the at the end there, but he's more of a chance of getting a championship than I am. So drove an awesome race and deserves to be up there. So good job to the little master up the front there. He's just way too fast.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, you did well holding off for as long as you could. The 2-lap sprint was a spectacular way to finish the night. It helped you a little bit with your fuel saving, yeah, for the strategy?
Nah, I would have finished second anyway. He would have got me, but I had no problems getting there. I had probably about 3 litres of fuel in hand. So
nice.
It was annoying. I just went back and had a look at Bruce's crash and oh dear.
Oh, who's crashed? Bruce Tenix.
Yeah, I think he brought the safety car out.
Yes, he did. Yeah. It was his crash.
He's straight line turn 5. There's already been questions of if we've written a script because I said, you know, it'll be perfect if we get a safety car the lap after Rehan comes out of pit lane, and lo and behold, it happened. So,
well, I was a bit annoyed that it didn't go. It was almost going to go 1 lap, and then Greg cancelled it and took 2 laps, so he could get some waiver rounds. But I just thought accelerating to 120 was a little bit odd, a little bit too early. Might have only got 1 lap dash. Might have been able to hold him off, but I tried to hold him off, but I didn't want to wreck him, so he's way too quick anyway.
Yeah. Ty, you're in the room as well. You pissed off with Dad for letting you win that one?
Yeah, wasn't overly impressed. I was hoping he could win or get second, but same as last race, he was second and then let me and Jamie go past. But he reckons we're a better chance of going to the championship. But fair enough. But yeah, my heart, he's second.
Yeah, you like to beat him on merit, don't you? Not just a gimme, huh?
Yeah, 100%. Like Piastri's win on Sunday.
This is a completely different scenario than if my dad let me past him. I would be thanking his praises for giving me a free spot.
No. Because see, Ty understands that Dad's let him past, and he can't rub it in his face because Dad's let him past.
Yeah, that's why it's annoying. He can't rub it in. That's it. Yeah, that's the
There's
truth.
no family dinner banter. Beat you, Dad. It's like, I'll let you go, son.
Yes. There was thoughts about pitting at that safety car, not from me, but certainly from the rest of the team. Go on, Blake, get in the pits. I was like, no, I think I'll stay out.
I'll tell you what, I did hear Dikey scream out on the comms in the last few, in the first quarter, actually, I think it was somewhere around there. Race control. I thought he's having a pearl of a night tonight, young fella.
Jamie had a good race. He just didn't have as much practice. I think he was in the same boat as me. Not much practice. We did the vets the other night, but a completely different setup and different temperatures and whatever, which doesn't really help at all.
Yeah. But it makes it fun. I'll tell you what, it was spectacular on camera to watch, and it was an absolute ball for me and Hamish, and really honoured to call the father and son. First time for me, you guys on the top step in our championship, that's for sure. Second and third in the pro category. So great work from both of you. Who's going to do the honours and talk about who gets you on track?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll go for it. Thank you. I'd like to thank West End Motor Group, Parramatta Peugeot Professional, Parramatta City Great Wall Haval, West End Parramatta, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, DC Shades, Relax, Precision Sim Training, Infinity Designs, Adrenaline Images, Precision Sim Training, Battery Warehouse Early Beach, MJS Gaming, and most of all, Fishy Motorsports.
Excellent, mate. You're an absolute legend. Good to see you up the pointy end of the track tonight and having a lot of fun. And either way, mate, a couple of weeks down the track, no one's gonna remember that Dad let you win. You just tell them you won. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go.
Good on
Have
you,
fun.
boys.
Good to have you back, Blake.
Good on you, Hamish. Thanks,
Thanks,
Cinco. Appreciate it, mate. Have a good night, boys.
You too.
Take care, lads. Let's bring in the top step.
The young master,
Evening.
Rehan. Oh, what a performance from you once again, young fella. Just putting the Moz over Ty there of claiming that you are the best 15-year-old Supercars driver we have in this league at the moment out of the two of you. As you've taken the race win tonight out at Monza, how does that feel?
Oh, it was a good race. Blake doing the one stop made it interesting at the end. And for clarification, I'm 14, not 15.
That's correct. You haven't turned, when do you turn 15?
I knew Rehan. It's Sinker that got confused.
Yes. When do you turn 15, mate?
March next year.
March next year. Whoa. So you got another full year of well done, mate. Absolute legend. Even put you up higher on that pedestal now. How was it, mate? That last when that safety car came out, what did you think? This is going to be a slog till the end, and the plan was just go hell for leather. You got your fastest lap on the last lap as well, mind you.
Yeah, I saw Bruce go into the wall, and I was like, "Oh no, this is going to be a safety car, isn't it?" And I didn't expect the safety car to cut that many laps off the race. So all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a bit of a challenge to get Blake." But yeah, managed to get him with that big tire advantage. And then fastest lap. I knew that Connor had fastest lap before that, and I was like, "Come on, let's do this." And then going into last chicane, I was very scared of getting it off track, but managed to avoid it. And
You got a bit of air in that last chicane.
yeah, it's very scary.
Yeah, well, I was. You could see you were pushing hard, and I actually noticed that the which one was it? The first left hander, you got a bit of air on that one as you came through. You just straightened it out. That was a lot of air. I thought, oh my god, is he going to go over here and lose it? But you absolutely epic drive, dude. Absolutely spectacular. And Lobby was coming back there as well at one point. I think if it wasn't for the safety car, he was slowly catching the top end. He wouldn't have caught you though.
Yeah, I knew he pitted, I think, same lap as me for that second stop. So when I think it was P9 before we went from the safety car, so I knew he'd be trying to hard charge through everyone, and then you managed to finish P5. So yeah.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Well, you started the season in an epic form. Continue with your form from last season. Again, we had a fantastic last 3 or 4 laps. Tonight we had fantastic 2 laps. It's like a script that's been written beforehand. But I tell you what, I hope you're enjoying it as much as me and Hamish is. I know it looks like Dad's enjoying it, watching it. That's for sure.
Yep, it's definitely fun to do these races, and when there's things like that, like last couple lap safety car and the differing strategies, it makes it quite interesting.
Yeah, it's good not having to hold back and worry about fuel and tires, or staying in line of everyone. Like I've noticed I think you mentioned it a few weeks ago when you're in the pros. There's a lot of following cars in front and just managing errors and stuff like that. It looks like you can drive a bit more looser in this and try things a little bit differently, take a bit more advantages and a bit more risk.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Last week was a bit more of that fuel saving race, but the top 3 or 4 of us managed to pull away from the rest of the field a bit. But here, because I knew 2-stop strategy was like almost definitely the way to go, because 1 stop was so hard to make. Blake got a bit lucky there with the safety car, otherwise he would have been a bit of a sitting duck for the guys behind, I reckon. But yeah, when we're at like Scops and stuff, it's just trying to save time wherever you can by lifting off, going into corners, using the draft, and then jumping everyone in the pits. That's basically all it is. But especially tonight, managed to have a bit of difference there and pull away. So that was fun.
I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. I'm glad to hear that it's a different type of racing, because the last thing I want is this series to become very how would you say it, Hamish? Very sterile, where it's where everyone just follows the leader sort of thing. and tries to go through on strategy instead of racing each other and grinding and bumping a little bit and taking those chances under brakes and stuff like that. You know, it just makes it more exciting and a lot more fun for me and Hamish, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. The racing's much more fun to do as well. And especially with those like the sprint races and stuff with the top 10 reverse, that makes it interesting with the trying to make up spots again coming from 9th or 10th. So that adds to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, mate, congratulations and fantastic effort as usual. Looking forward to next round. Who gets you on track and supports your team?
Yep. Thank you. I'd like to thank Hybrid Racing Simulations, Melbourne Hydrographic Stepper, Prestige Cinematography, Aramex Australia, DHF Tires, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and Phoenix Driver Development. And obviously, I do the coaching for that. We had a coaching session today. Everyone improved a fair bit. So, yep. And Dad does the amazing setups. That's what brings us all the way up to here. So definitely message us if you're interested. And we also do one-on-one coaching and private stuff like that. So if you're interested, yeah, just shoot a message over. And I'd like to thank the admin and race control. Obviously, there was a lot of calls I heard there, especially all happening at once. So that would have been a bit of a headache. And thank you to you guys for the commentary and stuff as well.
Well, we have a blast, mate. Thank you for putting on the show. If it's not for the drivers, me and Hamish should be sitting here biting our fingernails doing nothing. But the call has been a lot of fun this season. I think it's gone to the next level. Congratulations on the top step, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season, and see you around for the next round. And say hello to Dad. He's been watching and being out there, having a bit of fun by the look of it. And I hope he's enjoying as much as you are.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week.
Take care, bro.
Yep. Cheers.
Hamish.
Sinker.
This Sunday night just never seems to. It's just always the next step up, isn't it? It's just it's unbelievable. I can't predict what's going to happen, but I get a bug belly and I'm like, tonight's going to be a big night, and it just gets better and better. I really hope the people out there that are watching this really let their friends know and families know and other racers out there know that it's an absolute epic night to come out for a Sunday night and watch a bit of V8 Supercars, because the boys put on a spectacular show again tonight, 2 weeks in a row. I'm talking about something that's equivalent to what you see in real world.
Yeah, it's it's been quite a while since we've had a Sunday night race that hasn't, really hit the ground running and been an absolute spectacle. We've really been firing on all cylinders, pretty much all of this season so far in the first 2 weeks, and then even probably about the last half of last season as well. And I think we're really setting ourselves up for one hell of a championship this season. I think it's going to be a fantastic run home to the checkered flag in that final round at Road America. And it's going to be super, super tough to really tell who's going to be in this championship fight. I mean, obviously, Rehan's, his name's up there. Blake's been pretty good the last couple of weeks. So's Ty, Darren Lobb as well. I don't know if Mr. Gamble's going to be here for every round, so that may take him out of contention. But we've got a lot of quick drivers out there who have got a lot of opportunities to get these championships done and dusted. And knowing, especially after last season, especially, with the likes of Super Formulas last season, it's not always the obvious pick that's going to win this championship. Sometimes you do get that little glimpse of history being made of someone just, I don't want to say Bradburying their way to a championship, but being in the fight to the end and then taking advantage at the very end of the favourites maybe getting taken out or maybe making a mistake in the final run. So this championship's wide open. It's open to pretty much anyone to be able to win. And I think, any of those top drivers we look at in this field could take the crown and could take the trophy at the end of this season.
Oh, 100%, mate. And I sit back and look at this and think, wow, where do we go next? And I'm having some spectacular ideas, and I'll share them with the admins in the next few weeks. But these boys that are out on track, I'd take my hat off to them and applaud them completely, because without them and the show they put on, we would have nothing to show. And it's an honour to come out here and have a chinwag with you, but to watch these boys race and put it all on the line and race hard, not like, generic follow the leader stuff. We're talking door banging and braking and taking risks and taking a punt. It's spectacular, and I take my hat off to the boys. Without them, me and you would be bored dummies in this room.
Well, I think this week has proven we've had some incredible races across round 2, as well as round 1 for the Legends and the GTDs on Friday night. It's only going to get bigger and better across the rest of this season. There's so many rounds still left to run. We head out to Imola on Tuesday night for Supercars. We'll then be back there again on Sunday for the Pro Field. It's going to be absolutely epic. You guys do not want to miss any of the action. If you do not want to miss any of the action, which we would hope you wouldn't, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you are notified whenever we go racing here on SRW TV. You can expect 6 massive series running on this league across 5 different nights in the week. Tuesday, our racing week starts Warren and Brown V8 Supercars series with the Split 1 and Split 2 fielded amongst the same race. Wednesdays, we have the Cooler Masters Super Formula Championship. Thursdays, the Shannon's Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. Fridays, we have the Friday double bubble of Legends World Challenge in the evening at 6:20, and then 7:50 p.m. All Australian Eastern Standard Time. We have the Warren and Brown Tools GTD series, and then we're back here Sunday night for the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship. It's a massive season ahead. We've already had a massive first couple of weeks. I cannot wait to see how all these championships materialise over the course over the next couple of weeks and the coming months as well. Big thank you goes out to all of our series sponsors, of course. Our title sponsors, Warren and Brown Tools, Cooler Master and Shannon's Insurance, as well as all of our other sponsors, DSL Rail Services, NeuroPower, Shunt Scenery, and Groom Industries, the home of the V8 Coffee Table, where you can find it on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia. I've been Hamish Munro, joined once again by Steve Sinkovic. Thank you so much once again, Sinko, for being with me here tonight. But to everyone out there, we hope you have a great week ahead of you. But as always, stay safe, drive hard, and until next time, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because